one. What is up, beautiful peach? Today we are going to be talking about how far up, how high should you go in your reverse diet? Essentially, where should your reverse diet end goal be? Excuse me. And I have a couple different thoughts here. I'm going to give you two different options on how far to do a reverse diet. And then I'm going to also give you my most honest thoughts after a decade of coaching on which option I think that you should really realistically do. Okay. Now, option number one, is you're going to finish your reverse diet only to where your metabolism needs to be, okay? Just that very basic level of where your metabolism needs to be. If you want to calculate this, you can actually grab my C. Schmidt macro calculator and it will help you determine where that number is, okay? So you're gonna go to this very end point. That's gonna be it, okay? Then you can enter a calorie deficit from there. So let's do an example for this, okay? So let's just say that your starting point for the reverse diet is 1,200 calories and your end point for this is 2,000 calories. Let's say that your metabolism needs to be at 2,000 calories. That's where it functions at its absolute best, okay? Meaning you have gone from 1,200 calories to 2,000 calories. You've increased your intake by 800 calories during the reverse diet. You've maintained your weight range. You feel great. You've had muscle growth. You've, really gotten your body into a really great place where your libido's feeling good, your energy's good, your digestion's great, hormones are great. The list goes on and on and on and on and on, okay? All of these amazing benefits. However, the really big piece to consider when doing this option is, kind of two different things here. So number one, how long were you in a restricted place, okay? How long were you in a prolonged calorie deficit? If you were in a deficit, if you have been dieting for 5 years, that is 60 months of metabolic damage, which is a very solid amount of time, okay? It's a very long time. Now, let's say for the sake of this example, the reverse diet getting you from 1,200 calories up to 2,000 calories has taken you 6 months. Random number, totally just random number here. It is absolutely freaking phenomenal that you have had an epic reverse diet. But here's the thing. Here's the kicker, Miguel. You're in a space of metabolic damage and a slow metabolism for 60 months, okay? So you've done 6 months worth of healing. You are in a deficit for 60 months. That's 5 years. If you jump immediately back into a calorie deficit, this is basically like giving a kid a cookie, letting them take a bite, and then snatching it away, okay? It's not gonna go very well, right? There will be lots of tears. The kid's not gonna know if you're gonna let them eat the full cookie in the future. Gonna be some trust issues potentially. The same goes for your metabolism. It's going to have a freak out. It's not going to know the difference of if you found yourself, when you were in that 1,200 calorie deficit, it thinks you're on a stranded island, you can't get enough food, even though you're intentionally doing that restriction. Your body and metabolism's not going to know the difference of, okay, well, now you're eating 2,000 calories. Cool. Maybe you found your way to the mainland. You're getting food every day. Shoot, all of a sudden you're eating 1,200 calories again. Are we back on the desert island? Okay, panic in the streets. Let's go ahead and start down-regulating. And all of a sudden that 6 months of work, gone, right? Like that 6 months of work is going to be gone because your entire body and metabolism has now going into panic mode, okay? So this is going to it's kind of obvious at this point what I'm about to say here, but option 2, which I'm about to walk you through, is going to be the way that I recommend doing your reverse diet and how high do you think you should go, because we don't want to just snatch food away from our body, okay? Our body is getting comfortable with trusting us again, trusting that it's getting fueled, trusting that we're not going to massively restrict it again, okay? So option number 2 here is to actually go higher than where your metabolism needs to be. Triscuit's gonna bark, so I'm gonna pause this really quick. Okay, how to pause the episode there and grab Sweet Triscuit. We have people who she needs a big time haircut. We have all kinds of yard work happening right now and she likes to bark at them. So Bringing it back to what I was saying, which I actually can't fully remember where it was here, but the option number 2, we want to go higher than where our metabolism needs to be, okay? So we are going with the example of we started at 1,200 calories, and the end point for our reverse diet in the first example was 2,000 calories, because that's essentially where the minimum point of where our metabolism needs to be, okay? Number 2, the second option here is to go higher than that. So say, for example, completely just using this as an example, say you go to 2,500 calories for your reverse diet, okay? Meaning your intake has increased not 800 calories like the first example, but 1,300 calories, okay? This time in this example. This essentially means that in the first example, you ended at 2,000 calories, okay? If you're gonna start cutting calories from there, you're going to end up at a very much lower intake. However, if you have reverse dieted to 2,500 calories, not only have you spent another additional 5 months, if you will, I'm making up this number, but another 5 months as an example, in a reverse diet, in a calorie surplus, in a place where you're allowing your body the time to understand, hey, I'm not going to just all of a sudden cause you, take all your calories away. Hey, you can trust me. I'm going to keep you fueled, okay? So not only is your body trusting you, you're eating more, you're spending time in a higher calorie intake, in a calorie surplus. And when I say calorie surplus, a lot of times people think, oh my gosh, calorie surplus means fat gain, weight gain. It will not if you are doing your reverse diet and you're doing it properly, okay? Goal of the reverse diet is to increase your intake without the unwanted weight regain, okay? So keep that in mind as I'm saying calorie surplus for this specific podcast. But you're ending at that 2,500. Your body is feeling really, really good. So when you go to do that calorie deficit, the really great part about this is you do not have to go into a massive calorie restriction literally ever again. You will lose the weight and you will never go down to that 1,200 calories again, meaning your body will continue to stay thriving. You're in this. Okay, actually, I have an additional little thought for you. If you go listen to the previous episode 158, I talk about a gear. I do this gear example, okay? And we look at our metabolism as this main gear, okay? And then all around this one main gear, you have all of these smaller little gears. If this main metabolism gear is a little bit on the wonky side, okay, aka we have a slow metabolism, normally it's working very, very fast, okay? However, when we're in a prolonged calorie deficit, we are slowing this gear down. It basically is like it needs a little bit of oil. And this in turn slows all of the other gears around this metabolism down. So energy, libido, our sleep-wake cycles, our hormonal balance, we'll lose our period, like all of these other different gears are being slowed due to our metabolism being slowed. So in this reverse diet, in the first example, we go to 2,000 calories. Our metabolism is actually working where it needs at its max capacity, okay? It's going around, all the other gears are going around, your body's feeling really good, okay? But if we just all of a sudden take it all away, we're stopping that gear really fast again, and all of those other gears slow down as well. If in our option number 2 here, we go all the way up to 2,500 calories, not only have we completely had our gear continue working at its best, meaning all of those other smaller gears are also working at its absolute best. We have continued to 2,500 calories. Everything is thriving. It is all feeling so incredibly good. You do that calorie deficit, you don't even have to mess with your metabolism because you don't have to go super low, meaning all of the gears will continue to work at their max capacity during your calorie deficit because you have taken the time and been intentional to go a little bit higher than where your metabolism minimum set point needs to be, okay? So essentially, you're gonna wanna go higher. You're gonna wanna do option 2 because this is going to allow you to 110% make sure your entire body has done a full reset, is feeling good, and it's also going to set you up for an easier fat loss phase because imagine cutting, and I'm just going to use this number as an example, but imagine cutting 500 calories from 2,000 calories versus cutting from 2,500 calories. You cut from 2,000 calories and you're immediately at 1,500 calories, which is a bit on the restricted side. You cut from 2,500 calories, you're still eating 2,000 calories. Your body's feeling good. You're feeling good. Your relationship with food is good. You're not binge eating. Everything is feeling very, very chef's kiss wonderful, okay? So the moral of the story is please go to a higher intake when it comes to your reverse diet. If you want the specifics of your actual numbers, you can grab my reverse diet course. It will literally walk you through all of this. And you actually do get my C. Schmidt macro calculator as an added free bonus when you buy the reverse diet course, because I want to make sure you have your solid specific macros there. And it will be chef's kiss. It's like my favorite thing after I've gotten back from Italy. But excuse me, but it will be wonderful if you are somebody who just wants the step-by-step on how to reverse diet, how to adjust your macros for reverse dieting, where to go for the endpoint, learning where your metabolism set point is, all of that fun stuff. You'll get lifetime access when you buy the reverse diet course. And if you're somebody who's like, no, I really, really actually want the coaching, I want your accountability, Caitlin, let me know. My Beautiful Peach Mastermind is the way to go for you. You will actually get both the C. Schmidt macro calculator and also my lifetime access to my reverse diet course as a free added bonus when you enroll into my Beautiful Peach Mastermind. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope it wasn't too loud outside with the yard work that is being done. I'm like sitting really close to my mic. I don't know if that actually helps or not, but fingers crossed it does. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, Beautiful Peach.